Hi everyone, I'm Rahul. I'm going to solve few of the Leetcode problems which are mostly asked in the interviews. So today I'm going to start with one of the easiest problems available on Leetcode, which is TrueSum. So let's go through the problem once. Given an array of integer nums and an integer target, we have to return the indices of two numbers such that they add up to target. So let's consider this example. In this, we are given a nums vector 2, 7, 11, and 15 and a target 9. We have to return the indices of those two numbers which have their sum as 9. So here 2 and 7 are those two numbers, and the indices of 2 and 7 are respectively 0 and 1. Also, it is given that each input would have exactly one solution and we may not use the same element twice. So by this, it means that if the target would have been 4, then we can't consider the element 2 twice. So the answer can't be 0, 0. So basically we have to find the two elements which add up to the given target. So what we can do is we can iterate over all the possible pairs possible and check if the sum is equal to the target. If it is equal to the target, then we just return those two indices. So let's try to implement this brute force method and see what are the complications in it and how can we improve it. So let me just quickly try to implement this brute force method. So I'm going to use two loops. The outer loop is going to run from 0th index to the second last index, and the inner loop will run from I plus 1th index to last index. And if the summation of the sum is equal to target, means that we have the answer with us. We have to return the vector of n. Okay. So what we can do is we can create a global vector here. Let's call it answer. And if it is equal to target, then we just push back indices, corresponding indices into our vector. We just return answer here. When we return answer, we can actually ignore this statement because the control is never going to come here. But the function has to return something in the end. So for the sake of that, we are returning answer in the end. I'm running this code. Okay, it's running. Let's try to submit this code once. Okay, yeah, so it is successfully submitted. But as you can see, it is only faster than 5.05 of all the online submissions. So it's like looks like it's not a very good solution because yeah, it was obvious because the complexity here is big of n square. Like we are using two loops and each loop is going through n number of times, so it is n square. So if we try to optimize this, we can also think in the lines of the binary search. If you guys are not aware of how the binary search works and how it is implemented, then you should definitely try that algorithm. So using binary search, I guess the complexity can be reduced to n log n. Yeah, so let's try to think of a better solution compared to the above two algorithms. So the first one was taking off n square time and the binary search is going to take n log n time. So in this, basically like we have to find two elements which add up to a given target and we should have a data structure which basically returns us the index of a given element. So the data structure which fulfills these properties is the unordered map. If you aren't aware how unordered map works, then I would recommend you to go through this once. So we will actually go discover the input vector, and what we are going to do is, let's create another variable remaining. Yeah. So we are currently at the first zeroth index, which is 2. So in this case, the remaining value will be that we are looking for is target minus nums of I, right? And what we have to do is we just have to search for this remaining value into our map, whether it is present or not. There is np.find function. So it is not equal to np.end, which means the value has been found. And what we are going to do is we are going to push back I, and we are also going to push back np of remaining. We will return the answer. Going through the input example, 2, 7, 11, and 15. So we are currently at 2. So this condition won't get executed because the remaining value will be 7 and the map is currently empty. So what we are going to do is we will insert the value 2 into the map. The map will be 2 corresponds to 0. Like 2 is the value and 0 is the index. Now we come to the 7. So nums of I is 7 and target is 9. So remaining will be 2. 9 minus 7, 2. So we are going to find mp.find remaining. mp.find 2 is not equal to mp.end. So this condition is going to get executed because we already have the value 2 in our map. So then we will push back the ith value, and through this we are going to get the index of the remaining value. We are just returning the answer. Let's try to run this solution. Yeah, it is giving the correct output. Try to submit this. Okay, so as we can see, like the complexity is much reduced now. Like earlier it was just faster than 5% of all the online submissions. Now it is 38.42%. So as we can see, like we have reduced the complexity from big O of n square, then it to n log n, and now it has been reduced to big O of n. So in this, the complexity is big O of n because we are just iterating over the input vector only once. There are no nested for loops inside this. And also the average time complexity of searching inside a map and inserting inside a map is O of 1. So if you are not very much aware how another map is implemented and how are these STLs basically work, so then I would recommend you to go through them once and try to implement those then yourself. Okay, thank you everyone. I'm going to solve a few complex problems available on Leetcode in future. So until next time, stay tuned. Thank you.